on fostering entrepreneurship amongst women. And joining us in the panel discussion are Miss Anu Chadha, founder and chief executive officer of 3A Clothing Company from India.
Wonderful, great speakers with experience that you will not believe what they have done. But today with us are three women who will prove the fact that their contribution to society, to the economy, to GDP growth are real. It's not imagination, it's not a dream. Now, can I call upon Anu, this successful, fashionable woman from India, who has Walmart as her godfather initially. Now she is her own godfather, to please tell us how you arrived to become a very successful entrepreneur.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here today. Indeed, a privilege. My name is Anu Chadha, and I come from Delhi, from India, and I run a fashion company which makes clothing and accessories. A lot of these hijabs which I see, I'm so enticed by when I see all these beautiful women wearing all these, and this is something which I do, which we call normally scarves, and sell to European companies, also to Walmart. There's a paradigm shift in the demographics of the Indian economy. In this economic wave, we can see that there's a titanic surge of women who have entered the economic space and want to be entrepreneurs. Before we talk about entrepreneurship, I would like to also talk about empowerment, because without an empowered woman, there cannot be a successful entrepreneur. We all at some points in our life have thought or talked to each other about who is an empowered woman. I think a woman who gives flight to her dreams, who is confident, who has self-pride, is an empowered woman. My journey from the time I started working to the point where I've reached today. Let's say 5 years ago, I didn't want to share it because I used to think of it as a sign of weakness. But today, I'm very happy to share about it because my thought has changed. I feel that when I talk about my journey, there are a lot there who think they might not be able to do it, but they can. You all have heard or might have heard of this bird which is called the phoenix. It lives for 100 years, and then it dies and rises from its own ashes. It's a sign of the undying spirit. And I feel, when I read about this story, I started identifying with it because I went through a very difficult time. I had an early marriage, I had 2 small children, and then 12 years of a very troublesome, difficult phase of my marriage. Since I married very early, so I didn't have a great professional degree. I was a normal graduate. So I did not come out of that marriage thinking that, oh, I'm not so educated. Nobody will hire me. What will I do? How will my children grow up? How will they study? So with this undying spirit of the phoenix bird, finally, after many, many years, I did get out of that. And once I got out of it, I realized that I had wings. I could fly. My parents were a very strong backing with me. I would say at that point of time, there was no such concept of a startup, of entrepreneurship, of being seeded, of being incubated, of having a mentor. So I really didn't know anything. I was lost. But all I remember is my mother feeding me well and telling me that we take care of the children, just go spread your wings. And friends, I did just that. I started working for somebody. And then gradually, I realized that my children, both my girls, they needed to be empowered. What do I do? Do I just put them in a normal school and just wait for them to grow up? Or should I my dreams which I had for myself and for them? Or should I go and have the wind under my wings and do something about it? Well, I thought the latter was the best thing. It's better to do something than just dream. So I started, I remember I had gone to Norway during that. When I was in Norway, I was standing in one of the stores and I see this very beautiful product there and I think to myself, oh, this is something which I can do. And that's from where my story started. I called up that company from there, right standing in their showroom, and I said, I want to meet you and I want to manufacture for you. Now, as luck would have it, they invited me over and the rest was history, because that was the day I realized that success needs a purpose. And the purpose was so important in my life that I just had to find innovative ways of starting my entrepreneurship journey. And that's how I started. I think I could be taking more than the 5 minutes. I don't want to cut short this panel. So do we have more time or we move?
I'm going to give you 1 minute. I'm very generous.
Very generous minute. So from there, the entrepreneurship went on further, and then the next phase was that I was chosen by Walmart as the 32 women-owned companies from India. And I pitched with them, and they decided to take me under their wings. And today I'm a very happy supplier to Walmart India. Yes. So it's important to dream and then just go ahead, find innovative ways, and we come back again.
She turns her dream into something positive, not a nightmare. So we are very proud for her. I was struck, Anu, by what you said, that success must have a purpose. Now that you have found success, what now is your purpose? And how do you help foster entrepreneurships amongst the women? Or you're just happy with your success and, the others, I did it on my own. You have to find ways of achieving success yourself too.
I just feel I'm so fortunate because by this time, my journey has been long. I could have been an entrepreneur in my 30s, but I became one in my mid-40s. I'm not letting out my age, but... But by now, my kids, my girls are grown up. They are both educated, highly educated, I would say. And they are both doing their own thing. And I'm sitting on a business where I have a factory which has 4 floors and we are producing and all of that. So now, the other day I was talking to my daughter and I said, now it's not about money. So she says, my mother said, maybe now you should just enjoy, go travel, go see the world, do your thing. Why do you want to just do the same thing? I said, because for me, work has become a hobby. Now it's not a need, it's become pleasure. And I say that very happily, and I feel very, very fortunate and full of gratitude for that. So now what I've started doing is that I've started looking at my business from the standpoint of social impact. We are doing 3 things currently in the year 2016. We did 3 new things in our company. And these were all about fostering entrepreneurship. Being a Walmart supplier, my work is on. Let's say the train is well-wheeled, so it's going its way. But what I do with my energy and experience is, the first thing which I've done is that I incubated a person from the textile industry.
I know.
Yeah, just like Emil said. So I've been a single parent for many, many years, like I just told you. I just feel that, we are the product and victim of our own environment. I also feel that since we are here on this platform, this beautiful, lovely platform discussing about fostering entrepreneurship, I just feel that, when you have your little children, little boys and girls, we should start telling them that talking about empowerment, talking about that your sister and you are the same, and both of you can grow up and do the same thing, or, be empowered and be entrepreneurs. So it's important to start this language right in the home and have a common platform for both genders.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know you have something to add.
I totally agree with Soraya, because success, what's the definition? Is it that you have enough to eat or you have a beautiful home? There's no definition, It's the definition is as wide, as expanded as your thought. So I always say that, learning is a constant process. You have to keep innovating in your businesses, because when you reach a particular level, then you have to just go a step further, raise the bar, so that's the way to keep on going on the path. The three learnings which I always say to my children also and to people when they talk to me is, one, life is a learning process. It's a lifelong learning, because there's never a point where you can say, oh, I've done it all. It's not like that. So it's a lifelong learning. And second very important thing is that you have to realize that when you're in a position of power in your life, you have an obligation. At that point of time, you're obligated to help others. So I would say for that, if you're successful, that means you're in a position of power. Go, help others, and keep on raising the bar for yourself.
Well, that's a very, very good point that you have raised. Being generous, contributing back to society, creating more entrepreneurs as a result of your success. I think that is success, creating more entrepreneurs because you have become successful yourself. Thank you.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, another big round of applause for our moderator and our beautiful, beautiful panelists on stage. And now may we have a group photo before we go for the WBN Alumni Program, which will be in a bit later. Yes, a group photo. Bahagia Dato', please, for the group photo session together with the panelists. Okay, hold on. All right. And yes, that's a wrap for the panel discussion for today, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, a very interesting topic, which is focusing on the fostering of the entrepreneurship amongst women. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, next at 6:30 will be the WBN Alumni Program. And will be joining us later is the Honorable Tun Musa Hitam, the Chairman of WIEF Foundation, as well as our guest of honor is the Honorable Datuk Sri Rohani Abdul Karim, the Minister of Women, Family and Community Development, Malaysia.